Where are the whales? And when we talk whales, we're mentioning one of the largest whale groups that has entered the cryptocurrency markets that dates back to 2020, 2021. And we're talking about the Shib whales. Okay, so Shib Army, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark. Appreciate you guys giving me a couple minutes of your time. Let's get into some Shiba Inu discussion because I want to ask you guys, where did the whales go in this video? And we're going to dive into the overall market as well. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us here on the channel as we talk cryptocurrency every single day. Please remember though, guys, always do your own research, never financial advice. And let's look into kind of the markets as we wake up and enjoy a little bit of a little bounce back in some of the top 100s, and that does include Shiba Inu, up 1.1% on the day. Still trending in the negative direction as we look at a 5% decrease over the week and 22.7% down on the month. Now, please keep in mind that over the last 365 days, I do remind you guys that crypto has been doing well. I know this looks like it's the end. Full disclosure, a lot of people are liquidating. They're just getting out of crypto. They can't take it. Okay, and that's common emotion for trading crypto. And if you guys are seasoned, you've been around for quite some time, you understand the ebbs and flows and how the market does add volatility every single day. And even when the market is pumping, please be aware that is volatility. Okay, the reason why that you guys are probably so hooked on crypto trading is the word volatility. You probably were around when Shiba Inu built a huge green escalator going up to all-time highs back in 2021 before seeing the opposite of that volatility and crashing down to lows that we have since risen from, as we look at now Shib trading at 401458. Now, we're not going to take Shib ecosystem into this equation. We're going to talk about the whales because I do think that Shiba Inu does bolster some of the largest and more impactful whale groups that are in the markets. But right now, we do see some capital shuffling, I believe, at the top where whales don't want to get involved. And it's not anything with Shiba Inu. And that's been the whole problem, in my personal opinion, as we look into what's going on with crypto, is if a crypto right now has the best utility in the world. Now this is a meme coin conversation, mind you. Okay, so a lot of the people that do trade meme coins, they're just buying, holding, and they want to get rich. That's the mentality. That is the overwhelming mentality. But what lies within are the whales, the market movers, the manipulators. Those are the trading groups that look to basically dump, enter lower, and then sell, and then obviously use the retail as exit liquidity. Now, in a circumstance where we do see a price explosion like we saw back in 2021, when we do get that bull run, it doesn't really matter. And whales trade less, they more hold, and yes, they will pull that trigger, they will be smart, they will take profits. And as we've seen recently with all the volatility that we've had stemming down from, all of the pump.fun cryptos, the Trump token, so on and so forth, that's really just painted that picture that, hey, that's a recipe for success. Get in, get out, and get on with the next one, okay? And I think that's kind of where the money has shifted to. And then we couple that with the macro news within tariff discussions, that kind of concern, as well as, quite frankly, the instability globally where, you don't know what's happening overseas. You don't know what's happening with these tariffs and the Chinese sentiment, I think, with what Binance is doing in some kind of, almost pseudo Cold War narrative within crypto where you look at maybe Russia taking a back seat, but the Chinese really don't want the United States to be the #1 crypto capital of the world. So there is that discussion that this could be some market manipulation as high as, the tops of Binance, and really fighting back within kind of the outstanding amount of crypto that's being sold off from some of those exchanges. Okay, so let's get back into the discussion though, because the big storyline here is, where are the Shib whales? That is kind of what we came here to talk about, and let's get back into it. If you're still watching this video, awesome. Make sure you subscribe. Also follow me on X at @TCryptoMark. But this is kind of where you look into the disappearance of these Shiba whales, okay? Now, not only has the market dynamics and what's going on changed substantially and very quickly, the whales are showing a huge outflow in kind of what we're seeing with their activity. Now, as we look at the price on chain for Shiba Inu, you can see kind of the trajectory. This is where you look into kind of being the shift in whale activity and trajectory, okay? The large transactions, which for those of you that do not know, that's where you see a large transaction. It's either going to be because of the wallet that is making that transaction holds $100,000 to $1 million of said asset, or it's going to be a transaction over 100,000 in itself, okay? But we have seen a decline in almost 8% of these large transactions, which means that investors are neither removing holdings or they're neither completely liquidating their positions, okay? And that's kind of where you look into that either or situation. What are they doing? What are the whales doing? Are they getting off the exchange? Are they liquidating? This is kind of where you look at the number that coincides with this. We've seen a 16% decline in wallets that have Shiba Inu valued within $100,000 and $1 million. And within that concentration, that is where we have seen that almost getting up almost 20% in a decline of that. So that is a lot of that market capitalization that has been essentially liquidated. All right, and as these concentration, and I do think you guys, if you haven't checked out Arkham, check out Arkham if you have a second. It really does do a good job of these whale clusters and understanding where all the big holders are, what other cryptos are in, where the money's moving. But this is just going to be a graphic coming out, off of TradingView. And when we look at this graph right here, this is kind of where you see the chart showing that the liquidity is reducing, and that's kind of where you've seen that's that sharp sell-off, right? That's where it becomes very, very volatile because whales are out. You get more bearish trends, and that volatility is increasing, which causes that sell-off to be more rapid and intense, as you can see right here on your screen. Okay, so considering that, that's kind of where we've seen this coupled with a decline for a longer period of time as well. If this does continue, and this is some kind of warning sign from the Shib whales kind of leaving the game, this is where you could see a more bearish trend and continuation of what we're seeing on the charts potentially until the fact that the whales get right back in. So that's kind of how I feel about it. All right, it's a holding pattern. I would be remiss to tell you guys that I have not reduced a lot of my positions in waiting for better market sentiment. That's just kind of how I'm playing it. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm not going to ever tell you to buy or sell a crypto. I'm just here to give you guys the news and tell you my thoughts along the way and try to be there for everything in between, okay? But as it stands today, guys, we still remain bearish. Whales are decreasing, not just in wallet size, but also within activity. And that's kind of where the next conversation is when does this all kind of subside, and then we do get that next push for Shib. Where, guys, I'm going to let you know on a little secret right here, as Shib is trading at 1454 on the charts. All things considered, we are down, but we are still up almost 30% on the year, dating back to those March levels in 2024, roughly, back at the springtime of last year. So keep that in mind. There was a lot of profits that could have been had within that 1 year time frame, roughly, almost 12 months now. But it's something where we've seen it before. We saw it happen back in September. Shib decreased down from levels of that, where we were almost at that 404 mark. And you can see it right here on your screen. We had that 404, then we sold off just like we are now, and we're almost at the same exact point before Shib went back all the way up and got to 403348, and then selling off now. So if we do repeat history, Shiba Inu could make a nice little almost 3x here on the charts in roughly just a 3-4 month time frame. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Let me know down below in the comments. Are you guys selling Shib? Are you holding Shib? And where do you see the Shiba Inu price headed from here? I want to know down below in the comments. Appreciate you guys watching. Like I said earlier, I'm Mark. Thank you all for being part of the channel. Subscribe down below. Subscribe on X. Totally free to do so. And we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.